Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
It's single best idea, and we say good morning. It's been just an extraordinary non-August. It's as close to November or February as there could be. The idea of doldrums in the end of summer. It has been 24/7. Of course, all of this on the uproar of the president and our central bank, the Federal Reserve System. We had a wonderful cross-section of guests today. Of course, Libby Cantrell at PIMCO, I think yesterday or the day before, was incendiary about the importance of the Senate Banking Committee. Her colleague, Anthony Crescenzi, showed up today. He is expert on short-term paper. Tony Crescenzi of PIMCO on the uproar.
What we should expect is something that we all learned in grade school, which is the idea that there's checks and balances. And so far, the checks and balances are working. We know one major check and balance in this whole story will be, of course, the Senate Banking Committee, where it'll be very difficult to push.
We talked to Libby. What was her
Libby
name?
Cantrell.
Libby
Cantrell.
She's the PIMCO as well. What is this, PIMCO week?
She will tell you that
she was on fire yesterday.
There's just one seat majority, 2-seat majority in the Senate Banking Committee, 3-seat majority in the Senate, makes it very difficult to push nominees through. And it's proven, in fact, in the first Trump administration, 5 suggested appointees did not make it through the Senate. So there are checks and balances here. And so it's part of the reason why markets are even keeled about the story. They expect those checks and balances to work out. And so we'll have to wait and see. And we would expect that will be the case in the end. But one can't know for sure. Tony
Crescenzi of PIMCO. Huge discussion today on this again. Adam Posen with us in Jackson Hole. And the matter is so urgent and so front and center at his Peterson Institute in Washington that we lined him up again today here with a bit of a dissertation on Fed independence, a lesson for all of us from Dr. Posen.
The first is the argument made by the brilliant Ken Rogoff in 1986 that there's inherently an inflation bias to various degrees in monetary policy because if you pump up the economy, at least temporarily, you get some growth, but in the end, all you get is the inflation once people expect that. And so the point of the independence is to anchor expectations, as the saying goes. So you basically get rid of this extra inflation that's totally avoidable. And all the data suggests this is right, that you get a lower average inflation rate with an independent central bank at no cost. The next two are very straightforward. When you have a politician who wants to have a rate cut time for a particular initiative or ahead of an election, out of whack with what the economic fundamentals are, that's bad. When you have a government that wants the central bank to directly finance its debts so that the government doesn't have to behave in a responsible way, that's bad. We saw that in Italy. We saw that in Argentina. We saw it to a limited degree in Britain in the 70s. It's bad news. And so this election cycle insulation, this prevention of fiscal dominance is the other two main reasons why you do central bank independence. Again, I want to stress the late Stan Fisher, former vice chair of the Fed, former governor of the Bank of Israel, stressed the distinction between operational independence and goal independence. It's still the Congress, the legislature, that sets what ultimately is the Fed's goal, whether it's in the Humphrey-Hawkins Act or 2% inflation or whatever, and evaluates that. But the day-to-day, month-to-month independence is what we're talking about.
Well, jump in.
And then finally, the issue is just the same way that the Trump administration is gutting expertise and technocrats and bureaucrats of experience throughout the government. They're now doing the same thing to the Fed, and that just makes policymaking worse.
Just brilliant. What a clinic that was from Adam Posen of Harvard and, of course, Adam Posen of the Peterson Institute in Washington. We will continue our coverage of this, the leadership of Michael McKee driving all of our economics. On Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube podcasts. It's single best idea.